Success does not begin with talent, luck, or even opportunity. It begins with the mind. According to the principles taught by Socrate mind, the greatest transformations in life start from within. Before a person can achieve mastery in the external world, they must gain control of their inner world, their thoughts, their emotions, their focus, and their perception of themselves. This section explores how mental discipline becomes the foundation of all achievement, and why controlling your mind is the first, most essential step toward success. Human beings live in two realities: the outer world we share with others, and the inner world that only we can experience. Most people try to change their lives by altering the outer world, switching jobs, relationships, habits, possessions, while neglecting the mental patterns that created their challenges in the first place. As Socrate mind teaches, this is the illusion of progress, movement without growth. True success is the result of transforming one's mindset, because the world outside is nothing more than a projection of the beliefs inside. For example, a person may buy a new car or move to a new city thinking it will solve their unhappiness, yet the same inner doubts and limiting beliefs follow them, keeping them trapped in the same cycle. The lesson is clear. Change the mind first, and the outer world will follow. The first step in mastering your mind is understanding that your thoughts are not random. Thoughts follow patterns, and those patterns shape your actions. If you do not consciously choose your thoughts, your mind will fall into automatic loops based on fear, past experiences, and limiting beliefs. This is why most people repeat the same mistakes for years. They're trapped in mental habits they never questioned. Socrate mind describes the mind as a garden. If you do not intentionally plant seeds of clarity, purpose, confidence, and resilience, weeds of doubt, fear, and confusion will grow automatically. The mind is always active, always producing thoughts, but it is your responsibility to decide which thoughts to nurture and which to remove. Mastery begins when you recognize that you're not your thoughts. You are the one who observes them. Consider the example of someone trying to succeed in their career. If every day they focus on thoughts of inadequacy, I'm not good enough, I can't compete with them, then even extraordinary effort will be sabotaged by mental resistance. Conversely, by cultivating thoughts like, I am capable of learning, I can adapt to challenges, the same person creates a mental climate conducive to achievement. This is the essence of Socrate mind. The inner dialogue shapes the outer reality. You cannot act effectively in the world until you have aligned your inner world with the life you desire. To control your mind, you must first develop mental awareness. This means paying attention to what enters your mind and how it affects your emotions and decisions. Many people allow negativity, distractions, and external opinions to dominate their mental space. They react instead of responding. They absorb information without questioning it. They let others influence their inner reality more than they influence it themselves. Socrate mind emphasizes that awareness is liberation. When you become conscious of your mental patterns, you gain the power to change them. Awareness is not passive. It is active observation. It is noticing when fear, self-doubt, or anxiety appears and deliberately choosing not to let them dictate behavior. Once awareness is developed, the next step is intentional thinking. This means actively choosing thoughts that align with your goals. If you want confidence, you must think in ways that build confidence. If you want success, you must think in ways that support discipline, persistence, and belief. The mind moves toward whatever it focuses on. Focus on obstacles, and obstacles grow. Focus on opportunities, and opportunities multiply. For instance, a student preparing for an exam can choose to obsess over the difficulty of the test or to visualize mastery and understanding of the material. The second approach primes the mind for higher performance, demonstrating that mental control is not abstract. It produces tangible results. Another pillar of Socrate mind's teachings is emotional discipline. Controlling your mind does not mean suppressing emotions. It means understanding them. Emotions are signals, not masters. Fear warns you, but should not control you. Anger energizes you, but it should not guide you. Doubt challenges you, but it should not define you. Emotional intelligence allows you to interpret your feelings logically and respond with intention rather than impulse. For example, a leader facing criticism may feel embarrassment or anger. Emotional discipline helps them process these feelings, learn from the feedback, and respond with calm authority, rather than react impulsively in a way that could damage credibility. Furthermore, success requires mental resilience. Challenges are guaranteed in life, and setbacks are unavoidable. What matters is not what happens to you, but how your mind interprets it. A resilient mind sees failure as information, not defeat. It sees criticism as feedback, not insult. It sees difficulty as training, not punishment. This mental shift is one of the greatest indicators of long-term success. Socrate mind teaches that resilience is built over time through deliberate practice. Facing challenges head-on, reflecting on mistakes, and choosing to grow from each experience. People who avoid discomfort rarely strengthen their mental muscles, and without mental strength, external success is fleeting. According to Socrate mind, discipline is the bridge between thoughts and results. You may think positively, but without disciplined action, nothing changes. The mind must be trained to push through resistance, boredom, and fear. Discipline is not a talent. It is a mental muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. When discipline becomes a habit, success becomes inevitable. For example, an entrepreneur may have brilliant ideas, but only consistent effort and follow-through turn ideas into businesses. Discipline ensures that mental focus is translated into tangible action. Visualization and goal setting are additional tools recommended by Socrate mind for controlling the mind. By clearly imagining the desired outcome and breaking it into actionable steps, the mind aligns itself to achieve the goal. For instance, an athlete visualizing the perfect execution of a skill is programming their brain to perform at a higher level. This principle applies universally. Mental rehearsal, strategic planning, and clear goal articulation help the mind translate vision into reality. In summary, controlling your mind is the foundation of all achievement. Without mental mastery, external success collapses under pressure. But with a trained, stable, focused mind, you can transform any situation, overcome any obstacle, and create a life aligned with your highest potential. Socrate mind teaches that controlling the mind is not an act. It is a lifestyle. It is a continuous practice that shapes who you become. And when your inner world is mastered, the outer world aligns naturally. From conscious awareness, intentional thought, emotional discipline, resilience, and disciplined action, the principles of Socrate mind provide a comprehensive framework for anyone seeking true success. The mind is the engine of destiny, and mastery of it ensures that life's opportunities are seized, challenges are overcome. While understanding the principles of mental mastery is essential, success requires practical application. Knowledge without action is inert. Socrate mind emphasizes actionable strategies, habits and techniques that train the mind to stay focused, disciplined, and intentional. This section outlines the most effective methods for controlling your mind and directing it toward success, with detailed explanations, examples, and insights on how to apply them daily. The first technique is mental filtering, a process of controlling what enters your mind. Just as you would not allow strangers to freely enter your home, you must not allow harmful thoughts or influences to enter your mind unchecked. Every conversation you engage in, every article or video you consume, every environment you spend time in shapes your mental state. Socrate mind teaches that our inner garden must be protected vigilantly. Exposure to negativity, gossip, or fear-based content will automatically plant seeds of doubt and anxiety. By contrast, consuming content that inspires, educates, and uplifts your mind fosters mental growth. For instance, instead of watching fear-inducing news all day, you can read stories of triumph over adversity, listen to motivational talks, or study biographies of successful individuals. The principle is clear. Guard the mind's input, because what enters becomes what manifests. The second method is daily mental conditioning, similar to physical exercise but designed for the mind. Socrate Mind recommends a combination of meditation, journaling, visualization, and affirmations. Meditation helps you detach from the constant chatter of thoughts and gain clarity. It is not about emptying the mind, but observing it with awareness. Over time, meditation strengthens focus, emotional regulation, and self-awareness. Journaling allows you to organize thoughts, recognize recurring patterns, and articulate goals. Writing down fears, aspirations, and insights converts abstract thoughts into tangible clarity. Visualization programs the subconscious mind to move toward goals by repeatedly imagining desired outcomes vividly and with emotion. Olympic athletes and top performers across industries use visualization to prepare their mind for success, showing the universality of this technique. Affirmations are positive statements that rewire limiting beliefs and reinforce confidence. Repeating statements such as, "I am capable of achieving my goals," or "I have the discipline to follow through," strengthens mental circuits that support action and resilience. Another essential tool is controlled focus. The human mind cannot focus on many things at once, despite the common myth of multitasking. Socrate Mind emphasizes that focus is your most valuable cognitive resource. What you concentrate on consistently becomes your reality. For instance, a person trying to learn a new skill will progress slowly if attention is fragmented across multiple tasks. By training the mind to focus on one priority at a time, distractions are eliminated, decision-making becomes sharper, and productivity skyrockets. Techniques to enhance focus include time blocking, minimizing digital distractions, and setting clear micro-goals for each session of work. Socrate Mind teaches that a focused mind is not only more efficient, but also less prone to anxiety and mental fatigue. In addition to focus, self-questioning is a powerful technique. Socrate Mind emphasizes that quality questions create a quality mind. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask, "What if I succeed?" Instead of asking, "Can I do this?" ask, "How can I do this?" The mind follows the direction of your questions. A person who habitually asks growth-oriented questions develops problem-solving skills, creativity, and resilience, whereas someone focused on negative or fear-based questions becomes paralyzed by indecision. Another method is emotion reframing. Socrate Mind teaches that emotions are neither good nor bad. They are information. Instead of suppressing emotions or letting them control behavior, you reinterpret them. Fear becomes excitement for growth. Failure becomes data for improvement. Criticism becomes a mirror for self-awareness. By consciously reframing emotions, individuals transform potential obstacles into fuel for progress. For example, a public speaker may initially feel nervous before addressing an audience, but reframing the butterflies as excitement prepares the mind and body to perform optimally. Mental fasting is another key technique. In today's overstimulated world, taking deliberate breaks from external inputs is essential. Mental fasting involves periods of silence, solitude, or disengagement from social media, news, and digital distractions. Socrate Mind compares this to fasting for physical health. The mind benefits from periods of rest to regain clarity, perspective, and focus. During these breaks, you can reflect, strategize, and reconnect with your inner priorities, allowing intentional thought to resurface above automatic, reactive thinking. Identity alignment is a crucial element of mind mastery. Success is not simply about thinking positively. It is about embodying the identity you aspire to. If you want to be disciplined, you must act as a disciplined person. If you want to succeed, you must think, decide, and behave as someone who consistently achieves goals. Socrate Mind emphasizes that identity drives behavior. When your self-perception changes, your actions align automatically. A student who identifies as a lifelong learner naturally engages in studying, reading, and skill development. A leader who identifies as confident and ethical demonstrates decisive and principled actions without internal conflict. Mental redirection is the deliberate act of steering thoughts from unproductive or harmful patterns toward constructive ones. This is not denial, it is discipline. When negative thoughts arise, you consciously replace them with problem-solving or strategic thinking. For example, instead of dwelling on "I can't handle this project," you ask, "What steps can I take to complete this project effectively?" Instead of ruminating on fear, you channel energy into preparation and planning. Redirecting thoughts consistently breaks cycles of negativity and fosters an empowered mindset. Another technique is delayed reactivity. Socrate mind teaches the value of pausing before responding emotionally. When criticized, frustrated, or provoked, taking a mental breath before acting allows the mind to respond with rationality and calmness. Over time, delayed reactivity cultivates emotional stability, self-control, and wisdom. People who react impulsively often create conflicts, whereas those who respond deliberately command respect and maintain clarity of purpose. Finally, Socrate mind emphasizes the practice of consistent discipline rituals. Daily routines are the scaffolding of mental mastery. These rituals may include waking up with intention, setting clear daily goals, reviewing progress, practicing gratitude, exercising, and challenging oneself regularly. By embedding discipline into daily life, mental strength accumulates, habits solidify, and resilience becomes second nature. Over time, these rituals create momentum that propels success and shields the mind from distraction and defeat. Applying these methods consistently cultivates profound control over the mind. Thoughts become intentional, emotions manageable, actions aligned, and results predictable. Mastering your mind is not merely about achieving success. It is about transforming who you are. According to Socrate mind, mental control leads to personal evolution, unlocking the highest version of yourself. This section explores what happens when you gain full mastery over your thoughts, emotions, and focus. When you control your mind, you experience an internal shift. You stop feeling overwhelmed by life and start feeling in command of it. Challenges no longer intimidate you. They activate you. Instead of reacting to circumstances, you influence and shape them. You begin to understand the immense power of personal agency, the realization that you have far more control over your life than you once believed. One of the greatest transformations is the development of inner strength. Controlling your mind makes you resilient, adaptable, and confident. You no longer seek validation from others. You no longer depend on motivation. You rely on discipline. External opinions lose their grip on you because you trust your judgment and purpose. This inner stability becomes your anchor in a chaotic world. Another transformation is clarity of purpose. Most people wander through life without a clear direction. But when your mind is disciplined, your purpose becomes clear. You understand what matters and what doesn't. You become selective with your time, energy, and relationships. You stop chasing distractions and invest in meaningful goals. Purpose gives you power, and a controlled mind protects that purpose from interference. A disciplined mind also develops exceptional problem-solving skills. Instead of seeing problems emotionally, you see them strategically. You analyze, adapt, and take action. You become calm under pressure, creative in uncertainty, and courageous in adversity. People begin to rely on you, not because you're lucky, but because you're mentally solid. One of the most remarkable transformations is the rise of confidence. But this confidence is not superficial. It is not loud, arrogant, or fragile. It is quiet, grounded, and unshakable. It comes from doing the difficult work of mastering your thoughts and emotions. Impossible goals become possible. Hard decisions become simple. You trust yourself because you have trained yourself. Socrate mind also teaches that mental control leads to freedom from fear. Fear will always exist, but it no longer dominates you. You understand that fear is simply a signal, not a barrier. You learn to act despite fear turning it into a catalyst for growth. Each time you confront fear, your courage expands. Another powerful transformation is breaking negative generational patterns. Many people inherit mental beliefs from family, environment, or culture that limit their potential. When you master your mind, you rewrite those mental scripts. You become the one who breaks the cycle of doubt, insecurity, procrastination, or self-sabotage. Your success becomes an inspiration for others. A controlled mind creates discipline beyond emotion. You no longer act based on how you feel. You act based on what you have promised yourself. This is true freedom. You do the work on good days, bad days, tired days, and ordinary days. You develop consistency, and consistency produces extraordinary results. Over time, mental mastery produces success in all areas of life: career, relationships, health, finances, and personal fulfillment. This happens because your decisions become aligned, your focus becomes sharp, and your habits become powerful. Success is no longer accidental. It is intentional. Finally, the ultimate transformation is the birth of self-mastery. Socrate mind teaches that the highest victory is victory over oneself. When you control your mind, you control your destiny. You become a leader of your own life. You become someone who creates opportunities instead of waiting for them. You become unstoppable, not because life becomes easy, but because your mind becomes strong. When your inner world is mastered, the outer world becomes limitless. This is the power of controlling your mind. This is the path to success. This is the philosophy of Socrate mind.